Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Man, all the juicy superpowers news hits while I'm sick. What are the odds? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I'm so glad to be back with you. And today we're going to be taking a look at the recently released Wave 10 leaks for the superpowers line that are going to be coming early next year in 2025. Now, while we couldn't get this video out as soon as we wanted to for obvious reasons, we did post all of these leaks to our Instagram the second that they came out a couple of weeks ago. So if you're not following us on Instagram, I highly recommend you do. You might be missing out on some exclusive information that we are posting long before a lot of other people are posting it. So get on that Instagram train, go follow us at JustBSing on Instagram. And of course, I have to preface this video with a disclaimer that these are not 100% confirmed, so anything can change at any time, but all of these are coming from the same source that provided us the leaks for our last two leaked videos, and so far they have been 100% accurate, so I'm pretty confident that this is going to be our Wave 10 for the superpowers line. But let's go ahead and dive right in. And we are going to start with the vehicles. And somewhat unexpectedly, we're getting two vehicles listed with this wave, and they are the Bat Multicraft and the Manta Sea Saucer, which were recently included as part of the first McFarlane Drawing Board crowdfunding campaign, and that's somewhat surprising. Not so much that they're included, because a lot of times successful crowdfunding campaigns get included or released at retail later on down the line, but more so because that crowdfunding campaign wasn't entirely successful. I mean, it was successful, and we are, getting those vehicles and those figures if you back that campaign, but it was only really successful because the goal was reduced and the time was extended a couple of times. Now, lots of issues with that campaign and the website not working and things like that, so that certainly was part of it. Not saying there wasn't enough interest, but just a little bit surprising that these are going to potentially be going to retail. Not sure if they're fully going to retail or if they're going to do any tweaks to them to make them slightly different than the ones coming from the crowdfunding campaign. My guess is they'll be the exact same, maybe a limited retail release, or these could be maybe an exclusive to the McFarlane Toy Store or some online retailer and only sold online. Not sure yet. All of that's pure speculation. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if these are even actually included in Wave 10, but they are listed as part of the Wave 10 leaks. And then we have 6 figures included on this list for Wave 10, so we'll just run through those, and we'll start with Ray Palmer's The Atom. Now, this isn't a character that was on either mine or Chris's most wanted list, but man, gotta say, we're kind of digging it. We love it. Glad to see him. Now, we don't know if this is going to be a brand new sculpt or if they might be using maybe like a Blue Beetle as a base or something like that. They would kind of match up, somewhat similar style of costume and that kind of thing. So we'll have to see on that. I would guess they hopefully we'll be doing a new sculpt for this one, but that is also up in the air. And wouldn't it be cool if they included a smaller Ray Palmer Atom to go along with that 5-inch action figure, so you kind of get an idea of those abilities that he has. I don't expect they'll be doing that because of the lack of accessories in a lot of these action figures, but man, wouldn't that be cool? Guys, let us know down in the comments if you'd like to see that. And next up we have another Flash, but I don't think this one will be a repaint because it is going to be the Jay Garrick Flash, and I can't imagine that they would do any kind of repainting on the past Flash sculpts, and gotta say, really excited about having a Jay Garrick Flash to add to the collection. He's going to be able to join his JSA buddies, Alan Scott Green Lantern, Hourman, and Starman. And yes, that 3-pack is still on the way. It wasn't released with the rest of Wave 9 last week, but that is still coming, so keep an eye out for that. We'll have some more info on that as soon as it drops. Before you ask, not 100% sure where or when, but it is coming. Trust me on that one, and so keep an eye out for more information on that JSA 3-pack. But of course, Jay Garrick Flash is going to fit right in with those 3. So you're getting another JSA member, kind of growing out that team a little bit more. That's very cool. I expect this will look like the classic Jay Garrick with the helmet and all. So very, very cool superpowers-y type of figure to include in the line, and really excited to see this one. I think we're going to like it a lot. And speaking of liking, guys, if you're digging this content and you're feeling the vibe of the channel, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And of course, liking this video, hitting that like button down below, dropping some comments for us. We're a small growing channel, and we really appreciate all of the interaction and look forward to more and more friends to BS with as we continue growing this channel. All right, I'll stop pandering now. We'll get back into the list. And next up, we have another Batman. And I know, guys, you're pretty tired of the Batman repaints and all of that, but I gotta say, this sounds like this might be something a little bit different because this is listed as Batman Unmasked, which tells me that it is going to have a Bruce Wayne head sculpt, so it will be a new head sculpt. I'm guessing this will be on the classic detective body, or at least I hope it will be on the classic detective body. That is certainly the sculpt I think almost everyone is in agreement that they prefer, so I would like to see that be the case. Don't know what the color scheme will be yet, if it'll be the classic detective colors, if it'll be that new black and gray that we're getting in Wave 9, or if it'll be some other color scheme. But it is pretty cool that they're at least doing some different things with some of these characters that it feels like they're including in every wave. So we'll be getting the Unmasked Batman, and does that mean maybe that we could be getting some secret identities in the future? If we're going to have a Bruce Wayne head sculpt, slap that on a suited up body and you get a pretty cool Bruce Wayne, similar to how they had the mail away Clark Kent in the original Kenner line. This, I think, gets us a little bit closer to that being a possibility, but I gotta say, I'm not at all upset about this. I don't mind repaints as much when they're doing something a little bit new with it, so this will at least have a new head sculpt. Definitely gonna hold judgment until I see some official photos of it and see what it kind of looks like, but I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. And to go with Batman, of course you have to have another Robin. Now this is going to be Jason Todd Robin, and again, we don't know if this is going to be a new unique sculpt for this Robin, or like we saw with the crowdfunding, kind of going back to that, since those vehicles are being included as part of this wave, is this just going to be that Tim Drake kind of retooled and repainted to look like a more quote-unquote classic looking Robin, kind of like Jason Todd's initial outfit was? So that would certainly, I think, be pretty disappointing. I know I would be a bit disappointed if it wasn't a unique sculpt, even a new head sculpt, something like that. If it was just the Tim Drake Robin that we've seen a couple of times now with a new paint job and a different name slapped on the package, that would be a little bit disappointing. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a unique Jason Todd sculpt. Not sure which costume we're going to be looking at. I would hope it's the classic, almost Dick Grayson looking Robin, kind of similar to what the old Kenner Superpowers Robin looked like, but it could be one of his other looks from the comic. So that's all pure speculation at this point. We'll have to wait until we see. And this is another one that I'll hold off judgment on until we see some official photos and see if they're reusing the Tim Drake mold or if they're actually doing something a little bit different with this one. And of course, if we have a Batman in a line, we're definitely going to be getting another Superman. So this one is no different. We are getting another Superman, and this is listed as the Return of Superman, and I've seen some other places online speculating that this might be Superman Returns. I really don't think so. I think they would have listed it as Superman Returns if they were going to be doing a Superman Returns style figure. My thought is, if it's listed as the Return of Superman, that's a pretty well-known title from the Death of Superman comic arc, so I'm thinking that is what this figure is going to be. I would like to see the black regeneration suit, and I know Chris and I have talked about that in a past video, and earlier in Soup's Timber when we talked about the Superman variants we might like to see, that was one of those. So I would love for that to be the Return of Superman figure that we see, but since we just got that brand new, nice, vibrant, bright Superman in Wave 9, I'm thinking it might be that Superman mold, even colored the same way, but maybe with some retooling of the head to include the longer hair. Now with the black suit, you could potentially just go with the short hair as well. Some of the comic covers have looked like he's had short hair, so that could be a quick, easy repaint without a cape. So I think it could kind of go either way. I'm really looking forward to seeing which version they go with. I know if you look at some of McFarlane's other lines, like the 7-inch DC Multiverse line, they released a Return of Superman figure, included a Crypto, but it was the classic costume with the longer hair. So I'm thinking that might be the direction they go. I don't think there will be a Crypto included, of course, but I think that could be the classic costume with maybe the longer hair included. Either way, I don't hate that. I really like that new Superman mold that they're using, and we're big fans of the Death of Superman comic line on Just BSing, both Chris and I are, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that is. I know some of you will be like, yeah, no more Superman, no more Batman, but for us big-time Superman fans who really enjoy the Death and Return of Superman, we're again cautiously optimistic about this one, but of course holding off judgment until we see some official photos. And finally, the one that I'm most excited about, the one I know that Chris is most excited about because this was a villain on his most wanted villains list, we are getting a Lobo. And we don't know which version of Lobo we're going to get, but my guess would be the kind of biker style with the chains, possibly a cigar hanging out of the mouth, although that might not go over well if we're, kind of marketing towards kids for this line. But I would certainly love to see the classic biker style looking Lobo as part of the Superpowers line. And man, it makes me really hope that they include a Space Hog at some point in the future. Does not look like it's going to be included with this wave, unfortunately, so that might not bode well. But man, I just feel like you can't have a Lobo without a Space Hog. It just doesn't feel right. So I really hope that there's a Space Hog coming soon to the Superpowers line to go along with this Lobo. Maybe as part of a future crowdfunding campaign, that might actually go over a little bit better. So we'll kind of have to keep our eyes out for that. So guys, that's the rumored Wave 10 lineup. Let us know down in the comments what you're thinking about this one. Is it something you are looking forward to, or do these just not sound like what you were hoping for Wave 10 of the Superpowers line? Now, personally, I'm kind of liking what I'm hearing, although I'm a little surprised and a little bit disappointed that we are now 10 waves in. We're still not getting any other female action figures besides Wonder Woman. And this wave doesn't have any of the Legion of Doom members. It looked like they were kind of on a streak of adding some new Legion of Doom members to every wave, and this one kind of did away with that. So a little bit disappointing, but also some exciting new things happening with some possible new head sculpts, some possible new figure sculpts, getting another JSA member to go along with the JSA 3-pack that is still on the way. So some good, some bad. Overall, I'm looking forward to at least seeing the official photos for this one, so I'm going to reserve a lot of that judgment and my thoughts for when we see something official before saying, yes, I'm happy, or no, I'm not happy about the entire thing. So somewhat looking forward to it, some things not as much, but definitely looking forward to official photos. And now that I'm back up and running officially again on the channel, and again, guys, I am so happy to be back and feeling better. We have gotten caught up with Superpowers. Well, we can get back to what we had planned for the end of Soupstember. So I guess we're going into Soupstober now, and we do have one video coming out next week that was previously recorded before I got sick, but had to go kind of back into the lab and have some things re-edited because there were some dates in there that were no longer valid. So we got all of that taken care of, all of that cleaned up. That will be coming out next week. And by popular demand, because so many of you really liked our live action Superman tier ranking, we will be doing a tier ranking for some of the highest rated animated Superman voice actors. So these are about 18, 19 or so names that we looked up and found the highest rated of the animated voice actors for Superman. So it won't be a comprehensive list, but I can guarantee you most of your favorites will be on this list, and we will be tier ranking those for you guys on the channel. In fact, we're getting together later this week to record that one, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got a lot of other fun videos planned for going into the end of the year and into next year. More unboxings, more reviews, more top 10s, tier rankings, things like that. And we do plan to do our first live video. In fact, we had planned to do that at the end of Soupstember, and COVID had other plans for us. So unfortunately, we have to reschedule that, but we are going to try to get that in again before the end of the year or early next year, so you guys can come and BS with us in real time. So stay tuned for all of that. Don't forget to let us know what you think about these Wave 10 leaks down in the comments below. Hit that like button while you're down there, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. We'd really appreciate it, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.